Alright, hello everyone, my name is Shep, welcome back to the Butcher's Circus. Today we are going to be playing against the Butcher's hit squad, and it looks like he's playing a defensive stress team with the Flagellant, Man-at-Arms, Abomination, kind of a usual setup that you've been seeing recently. It's very defensive, but it also has that Abominations just transform and just do a lot of pain with those horrors, and it has a very dodgy Grave Roamer at the back, so overall quite a decent team, and it's going to be playing against our World Domination. So immediately he goes first, which I definitely don't like. I'm playing the Mark team, I definitely like to go first. I like to control the match, pretty much decide what happens when I'm playing a team like this. But, considering that he did go first and go for the immediate slam on my Crusader, he opened for me a choice to go Holy Lance, and I made quite a quick decision to go for that Holy Lance, but there were immense amounts of things I could have done. I could have gone for a stun with the Abomination, I could have gone for the immediate mark, but I end up deciding, well, in the current situation, I'm always gonna Holy Lance. So before a Bell is dropped, before a Guard is dropped, anything like that, I'm just gonna drop it so I can do the most amount of damage. We get a very lucky crit that Holy Lance, 20% crit chance, and it just rolls through for us. And yeah, the thing is, my opponent here has a really hard time after that crit because he's already used his Abomination action, so he's not going to be able to heal this round. And if he tried to guard with the Man-at-Arms, I could always break that guard, as I just did with the Slam, and if he tried to use Reclaim, he can only make use of that regen heal by round 2, because he doesn't have any direct healing yet with that Flagellant. So I make quite, potentially a misplay. It was a very risky play to go for that slam, because I actually get the knockback, which means I did enough damage, and I broke the guard, but I pushed the Abomination to position 4 when I actually don't have finish him. What I should have gone for was the sniper shot first, trying not to be greedy, and what ended up was me actually having to lose an action and having to go for the sniper shot kill with the Arbalest. So with those kind of little things I can really make the difference, but I wanted to keep my Arbalest action to shoot at Man-at-Arms, potentially do a very big amount of damage, and instead of having the Abomination action, but I kind of suffered for it. I wasn't expecting that Abomination to be slammed to the back, especially with the extra move res, but this is still quite a good place for it. We're still in quite a good spot. So right now, it's kind of weird here because there's so many things you can do with this team. It's really good. It's a blessing and a curse, because it means that you can really surprise your opponent, or you can really surprise yourself with the amount of things you can do, but it also means that the course of action isn't always clear. So what I end up deciding to go for is just, let's just slam that Flagellant to the back, let's put him in a place where he doesn't want to be, and if the actions turn out well for us, he might just stay in that spot and we might be able to, potentially get a kill or something of the likes. So he goes for the Panic Darts, and of course, after a Panic Darts is used, that means that you can go for the pull into the Sniper Shot, because the Grave Robber won't be able to use Shadow Fade, so that's immediately what I'm thinking of. I was also thinking of just trying to nuke that Flagellant with damage, but considering I already have 2 Bellow debuffs on me, and he does have that Gauntlet of Absolution, I was thinking, well, that might not be enough, and Redeem will heal for a lot, so that's maybe not the best play I could go for. So I pull that Grave Robber. He goes for a very good Reclaim there, because no matter what I do here, I am very unlikely to get a death blow this round. I can't get a stun, so I can't get any bleeds through, so that regen is really going to be hindering my situation here. It's going to be making it quite difficult for us to just actually kill the Grave Robber, because between the dodge, you can see there it's a 39 dodge, which isn't the greatest amount, but against the WD it's a really big amount. I decided to go for the Holy Lance on the Grave Robber. We just miss, which is, it's understandable, it happens, but why did I want to go for the Holy Lance on the Grave Robber first, before the Arbalest action, if I knew I could probably get a crit and do enough damage? Well, I wanted that extra 12 accuracy from the stabilizing Tiller of the Arbalest, so I could actually more reliably hit that Grave Robber. So, right now he decides to go Shadow Fade after he used that Reclaim, because obviously if he didn't, I would just just go for a stunning blow with the Crusader, and that would be essentially that Grave Robber, sitting in position 2 in an absolute world of pain. So now what I really want to do is I want to bait out a Bellow, and after this Bellow I want to go Flare, clear the Bellow debuffs, clear the stealth, and potentially get a kill on that Grave Robber, but it's not looking too good actually, even though we got that very early kill on the Abomination, because Abomination is the character that just dies immediately against smart teams. I'm gonna have a kind of a hard time clutching out the kill against the Grave Robber because that very high dodge and the fact that she's stealth right now. Keep in mind that for some reason in the Butcher's Circus, the flare can actually miss. I don't know how you dodge a flare. I also don't know how you dodge a scream, you know, it's just, it's not even circus mechanics, it's Darkest Dungeon mechanics at this point. But yeah, that bellow comes down and I'm like, okay, I have 3 bellow debuffs on me, my Crusader is doing 0 damage, my Bounty Hunter is doing 0 damage, my Arbol is doing 0 damage, I'm just gonna flare. That's gonna be the stealth gone, that's gonna be all the damage debuffs gone, and that's gonna be me, like, pretty much chilling here. The Abomination has taken a decent amount of pain, and same thing with the Bounty Hunter, but this is still a decent situation for us. So you might be wondering, well, why did that Flagellant decide to go reclaim instead of moving forward? Well, the thing is, if he moved forward, he would die, because I would go Stunning Blow, he would have no action for this round, no action for round 4, and I could just go for the immediate finish him, and that Flagellant would be totally dead. So he also goes for the reclaim. So he actually manages to activate his healing for that redeem. And look at this. Oh, Shep, you're pulling a Flagellant into position 1? What are you doing? But surprisingly, it's the best play because there's nothing that he can do right now to stop this kill from coming through. Because even if he decided to guard, keep in mind he has Numbing Instance on that Man-at-Arm, so he's quite resistant to guards. Even if he decides to go for something like that, the Abomination is here to prevent that. Even if the Crusader fails the stun, the Abomination can just transform and go slam, and who cares about your stun resistance if I can just pierce through the guard and break it and do a ton of damage in the process. So that Flagellant is going to drop down to 0, and I'm going to have this Bounty Hunter to go finish him. Now, the Bounty Hunter does go Irrational, so Irrational is kind of that affliction that can do anything, so that could be a really bad situation for us, because if we do fail one critical death blow, you know, if we just get a pass or something like that, the Flagellant is going to be able to act the next round, so that would be quite terrible here. I decided to just go for a Rake because I'm kind of playing the actions game. He only has 2 actions while I have 4, so that means that eventually he's gonna have to click that Flagellant and fall down to 0. So I just drop a Rake because he wasn't taking quite enough bleeding, but now that he's taking enough bleeding, he's gonna act, he's gonna fault this, so I'm gonna get to finish him. Look at this! WD has a Virtue chance. Even if you're playing against stress teams, you have a Virtue chance with the Holy Blade, with the Sacred Blade. 30% Virtue chance. We get that powerful, and we secure the W. So GG to my opponent. That was honestly not really the best situation in terms of RNG, because getting a Holy Lance crit at the start is just something that you have a really hard time recovering from. I mean, because just getting an immediate kill on the Abomination without even having a chance to go into round 2, provided that if we did go into round 2, I would have a really hard time, because I did go second, so getting that kill round 1 was so meaningful, just so meaningful. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the match. It was quite a quick one, but that's kind of what happens with the WD. They're either quite quick, or, you know, they sometimes take a little bit longer when we have a harder time trying to break through, but that's quite rare. So yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the match, and I'll see you again another time. Cheers.